All right, want to welcome everybody. Sorry about that, getting the recording dialed in, but really delighted to be able to be with everybody here this evening. And if you're out where I'm at in California, then good morning, right? But I'm really delighted to be here. Real quickly, let me introduce myself. My name is Tim Herr, National Director with Riman, and I'm out in California, and really just excited to be able to be with all of you here this evening in Europe. And real quick, I'll share a little bit about my background, just so I'm not a stranger. But today, we're going to give you some great information about Riman, share with you really what Riman's all about. We're going to share with you about the products today. We're going to talk about compensation and income and pay structure. We're going to share with you how we have a training and support structure like none other. And I think by the time we get off here today, you're going to gather a lot of great information. And just keep it. I think my mentor taught me, when I first got started in this profession, he said, Tim, a mind's like a parachute. It only works if it's open. And I think that's right. I definitely don't want to have a parachute that doesn't open, and definitely don't want to have a mind that's closed. So, real quickly, my background about 30 years ago, I was very blessed. I was actually in high school at the time and had a very, very amazing blessing happen to me. I was very fortunate to get a chance to get introduced to the industry of direct sales. I was at a point in time in my life where I was really looking for something. I was in high school, was a senior in high school, and was really worried about my future. Up to that point in my life, I'd been through a lot of challenges and struggles financially. My mom had moved to San Bernardino, when I was in high school, and really was just crashing on friends' couches, hanging out with, family members' couches, and just kind of bouncing around. And basically, what happened to me was on February 15th of 96, I walked into a room and I met some very successful people, and they said, "Hey, we'll teach you how to do it." And to be upfront, I really had no business being in business, being a 17-year-old kid. I'm looking at my future going, I don't think I'm even going to graduate high school, right? So I was really worried about where I was going to be at. Most of the people in my family were all construction workers, so I figured I'd be doing manual labor. And then nothing wrong with that, once again, if any of you are into construction, obviously, but I just wanted to be able to have more freedom. So got started part-time. I was one of those people that was busy and broke, which is what I'm sure we all know somebody like that. No money and no time. And yeah, I wasn't doing the school. I wasn't doing very well in school. So some could say, I guess, that I was dumb, busy, and broke. And obviously, you can tell, not very good looking. So I still wasn't very good looking when I was younger, right? So I was ugly, dumb, busy, and broke. Oh man, just joking. But I was at a point where I was looking for something. Got started part time as an entrepreneur. And my first year was able to make a six-figure income because of my coaching, because of my mentors and what they taught me. And they taught me the books to read. They taught me the disciplines. They taught me the changes to make in my vocabulary and language. And fast forward about geez, in 2020, no, not 2020, excuse me, 2010, I got started in the beauty profession. I started marketing beauty products, and I never used skincare. Had never been in, I mean, that was something that I just didn't know anything about. And we started basically a skincare company. It wasn't Riman, obviously, but it was in 2010. We started a skincare company out of my garage. My wife was the only employee for the first 8 months. My partner, Chris, Kim, and I, we went and built this company and ended up doing 1 billion in sales. And we sold that company about 3 years ago. And around that time, my good friend, Mr. Danny Bay, a gentleman that I've known since for over 26 years, he had sent me some of the Remon products. He goes, man, skincare. He goes, check out these products. And they sat around for a while. I'm going to tell you that right now. My wife was like, just try his products, right? And sure enough, I tried the products, was blown away. I was like, what is this? I've never used a product that was this powerful. So I asked Danny, I said, I was like, what is this stuff? I told Danny, I said, man, yesterday I went to football practice after putting the products on, and one of my coaches was like, Tim, your skin looks great. And I was like, whoa, that was weird. And then my daughter the next day is like, Dad, did you get Botox? And I'm like, what? So I go, I had to call you and find out what this stuff was all about. What are these products all about? And Mr. Danny Bay, who's the president of sales, kind of shared with me a story about how Remon got started. And I'll share it with you today. But it was probably about 10 years ago plus. Mr. Chairman On, who's the gentleman that started Remon, he's basically what he's known for is K Beauty. Basically, he's the number one K Beauty formulator in Korea, right? This guy's built, a majority of the top major brands. He's worked with all the major companies. He's the number one formulator. So he'll create a product, and he has a company called Ask Labs, and then they would sell that product to other K beauty companies to sell. And he just is in love with creating products. But he started studying something called tiger grass, right? We call it in the Western world tiger grass, which means basically when tigers get wounded. The reason why I got that name is when tigers get wounded in Asia, they'll sleep in this grass or roll around in this grass because it's got healing properties. So basically, it's a healing plant in Asia, really popular. Most people, I wouldn't say most people, everybody in Korea knows about it because in everybody, you guys have all heard about some like different ointments. Like some people in America, we have something called Neosporin. It's like in every first aid kit. It's an ointment that you put on your skin that helps with healing. And I'm sure in the UK and all throughout Europe, you guys have the same type of some type of an ointment like that. In Korea, this is their ointment. It's called Maracasol. And basically, this Maracasol, let me see if I can get it to zoom in, but Maracasol is basically made from a centella leaf, right? Tiger grass. And it's real popular in Korea. It even has a name, Byungpo, which translates into medicine plant. And basically, this plant's got healing properties, okay? And it's been around for, I mean, forever, right? I don't want to say forever, but probably for, I don't know how long it's been around, but I'm not maybe since Ice Age, and I don't know how long this plant's been. I don't know how long tigers have been around, right? So basically, the plant it's usually about the size of the quarter. So Chairman On started researching this plant to find out how he could use it in skincare. And basically, around that same time, he started to research this plant in his smart farm. Basically, what happened was they found water inside this Halasan volcano. So Halasan volcano is this volcano on Jeju Island, and they found water that had been trapped there for 400,000 years. Okay, so it's absorbed the bedrock of basically the inside the volcano. And what happened was the United Nations made it a UNESCO heritage site to protect it, and the Korean government gave out one skincare contract, and they awarded it to Chairman On to find out how this water could impact, skincare. And so basically, what he did right away was he took this water and he said, "Let me spray the plants with it and see what would happen." Well, what happened is they grew from the size of a quarter, or I don't want to say quarter because you guys don't know have those in Europe, but like a coin, size of a coin to the size of your hand. Okay, and it just grew. And basically, what he did was he patented this new strain of plant. It's also patented in the US as well. USDA patented it as well. But basically, he started to formulate this K Beauty product we now know as ICD, Insoderm. And what he did was he used the water from the volcano, he used this giant plant, and he put together this Insoderm line. Now, what he did that was kind of next level, right? That nobody's really ever done before in skincare is he uses a process called the microfluidization. Okay, so what does that mean? That's kind of a big word. Some of you probably know what it means, but microfluidization is when you take something that's basically a micrometer and you turn it into a nanometer. What does that mean? Like scientifically, it makes it 350 times smaller than a hair follicle. So it can penetrate past your epidermis and get to your dermis and help heal your skin. So when I look at the Riman products, I kind of look at them as skin repair, not so much skin care. Because as you use the products, I'll show you my before and afters in a second. You'll see like there's no debating the fact that the products work like time and time again. Like there's so I could do like an hour presentation just showing you before and after, before and after, before and after, and you'd be blown away. And so when people use this product, they see massive results, right? Because of it's a healing plant, and what the giant Byungpo plant does is helps with hydration. So basically, the number one cause of wrinkles is what? Dead skin cells. All of you know, some of you are probably estheticians, you know this real well, but it's dead skin cells, right? What causes dead skin cells is dehydrated skin cells, right? So what this product does is it penetrates your epidermis, gets to your dermis, and it'll basically hydrate your skin. So you get like this glow on your skin, right? It's called glass skin. And it's a major craze right now worldwide. And that's really what's happening right now with Riman. Okay. So they started the company. Chairman On's like, I don't want to sell this formula. It's too amazing. So I'm going to start my own company and I'm going to partner up with people that want to be able to be in business for themselves, but not by themselves, and give them a great product to promote and give them an equity ownership position. So we get the opportunity to be able to make profits and basically build a residual income by sharing the products. And we'll talk about how that works and why that works in a second. But I mean, basically what happened is, Danny shared with me the story about Riman. I was very intrigued. Some of the things that really caught my attention is the fact that they built the 160,000 square foot smart farm. It's the only place in this world that the giant Byungpo plant or the giant tiger grass is actually grown. It's in a 160,000 square foot AI powered smart farm on Jeju Island. So I'd never seen a company take that type of commitment to be able to create a product. Now, giving an example of how how special that is. We're the only K beauty product on the planet that actually creates their own products, meaning their own raw materials. So we don't buy our raw materials. We have 20 patents, and what we do is we grow our hero ingredients inside of this controlled AI environment. So I was blown away by that. I'd never seen a company make that type of commitment. But really, what caught my attention the most is the fact that they have a resort. Like I've never heard of a company building a resort, mainly early on like that. I mean, never heard of it, but I mean, to think of a company building it early on like that, it really caught my attention, right? Because I have a resort for their top distributors to go to. It's called Riman Village, and it's on Jeju Island as well. And they have basically 9 villas that sleep 6 people, and they have like a beautiful spa. It's just amazing. Like when people go there, they're absolutely blown away. They have like what are they called? Like hot tubs or like we call them hot tubs in America. I'm sure probably some of this stuff you're like, what language is this guy speaking? He's got a weird accent, but you guys know what I mean? Like basically like a little hot tub that you get on. It's inside of um, all the villas, and it's got the Byungpo leaf water and the lava energy water in there. So when you get out, your skin feels amazing, right? So it's just an amazing experience, right? I've never seen a company do that. Usually, when companies in our industry do well, typically what will transpire is the company will buy a yacht for themselves, or maybe the owners will buy basically, hey, let's go buy an airplane for us, right? That'd be sweet. They don't think about the distributors. So when I saw the fact that the partners, they thought about the partners first, us distributors, I was really impressed. And I was like, man, I've never seen anything like this. So I got excited. We first opened up in the United States in 2023. I came on board in the very end of December 2023. And right when I came on board, we started opening up international countries, right? So we were in Canada and US, and we opened up Taiwan, Hong Kong. We started growing throughout Asia, right? I'm not going to list all the countries. But then what happened was we opened up Mexico, and now we're opening up Latin America. And then also at the same time, we're now opening up obviously Europe. And we're right now, UK was our first country that we launched. I believe it was the end of October of last year. We started to just pre-market that area. And then we opened up in just a few months ago, Ireland and Spain. And then last month we opened up in Italy, and we're growing like wildfire throughout Europe. So the cool thing is the timing of this thing is better than ever before. I'm a big believer that the T in timing is more important than the T in talent, right? So when you're in the right place, the right time, and you decide to take action, that's how I think great things can happen. So I'm going to pull up a real quick slide deck. I kind of shared a lot of the information already, but basically I'm going to show you, the things that I saw that really caught my attention, and I think a lot of you will find them to be very interesting as well too as well. So this is probably when I pull this up, the video is going to play. So let me give me 1 second. More information about Riman, and you can make an educated decision if Riman can help change you and your family's financial future. Tonight, you taking up your time, and obviously your buddy that invited you on, them taking up their time. When we get through here today, just give us a simple yes or give us a simple no. Just get back to your buddy and just say yes or no. You and I both know kind of a maybe or think about typically a nice way of saying no, right? So just give us yes or no, and we'll go through this real quickly. But basically, this right here, these pictures are um, this is basically our headquarters, and the headquarters. I'm going to show you a picture in a little bit of the headquarters for UK and all of Europe is out of UK. It's actually in Hammersmith. It's a building called the Arc Building. It's unbelievable, just state like top notch, and it's just really really beautiful. This is the US office out of we bought a building cash, 33,000 square foot building, $13 million cash. They own the whole building, right? It's in Irvine, right down the street from where I live. Literally, when I get off this call, I'm headed there. And then basically, this is on Jeju Island. They've got, this is just, one of the buildings that we own. This is the hottest intersection in all of South Korea where they do billboards. They have like this playing, like videos playing about Riman. This is Riman Village. This is a resort. So let's just go through this real quickly and make sure that it all makes sense. So we started in 2018 in South Korea. They did over $2.5 billion in sales before they grew internationally. I've never heard of a company having that much success. When you think about the size of Korea, it's a very small country. It's only got a population of 50 million people, and they were able to do 2.5 billion. But what's the most impressive about that, in my opinion, is the fact that K beauty is huge. right? Meaning that it's the most competitive market in the world for selling skincare. And they were able to become the number one rated K beauty brand in the world, right? So they sold over 40 million bottles of our, we call it it's called the dermatology cream, dermatology EX cream. And they sold 40 million bottles of that cream. We opened up United States and Canada in March of 2023. Taiwan in December of 2023. Then they opened up Hong Kong, Mexico, Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, United Kingdom, Japan just opened at the end of last year. Italy, Spain, Ireland, Colombia, Chile, Peru, and many countries are being added right now. So we're growing like wildfire through a dry brush field. Okay. And I live in California, so you guys probably have heard about wildfires are pretty big out here, right? So these are the brands. Okay. So ICD is basically, is formerly known as Incel Derm because the product gets into the cellular level of the dermis, okay, which is the ICD. Bodalab is the body care and hair care. Absolutely. I could build a company just on the hair care alone. But the ICD products are so amazing that it's hard to not talk about those about all the time, right? And then obviously some nutritional supplements that we have in different markets. But these are the three main pillars of why we are so special is the giant Byungpil plant that we have a patent on. We talked about that earlier, right? It's also known as tiger grass and Centella asiatica. The Jeju Lava Energy Water. Remember, we're the only skincare company that's allowed to have that product, that water. Okay, so we're the only skincare company in the world that has lava energy water. Okay, most companies have in skincare do what? They use distilled water. What's the difference? Is the minerals are in it, right? So people, when they look at lava energy water, they say, is it anywhere else on the planet? Sure, right? Spain has one in one of their volcanoes, but the challenge with that one is there's too much sediment. So when you try to pull the water out, it's nearly impossible. So nobody really touches that water. There's one in Hawaii, but inside on the Big Island of Hawaii, but it's too deep, so it costs too much money to bring out. So they don't use that water. And then there's one in Japan, but the radiation that's there makes that water, they don't want to touch it. But the Jeju lava energy water is the only lava water on the planet like it that we can access. Now, the nanoliposomal technology is what we basically is that microfluidization process that really makes our products so special. Okay. So let me just quickly go through this. This is our Riman campus on Jeju Island. And basically, let me share with you how this works, right? So we have the Riman farm there. That's our 160,000 square foot AI powered smart farm. Okay. Then we have the Byungpil lab. Okay. Is basically right next to the lava center where the water comes out of the volcano. And they bring it right over to our Byungpil lab. And then we bring it over to the Riman farm. And then obviously AskBase. AskBase is basically our research and development company. So think about this. Most companies might have a research and development department. Guess what? We have a research and development company. I've never seen anything like it. It's unbelievable. When you go and you see all the scientists working around the clock, putting products together, you're like, dang, dude, we are so fortunate. So this is the Riman farm. This is where we grow. This is 160,000 square feet, which I know you guys in UK, Europe, I don't even know if you guys use feet or not. I don't think you do because that's like, doesn't make any sense. So basically, I should find out how many square meters it is. But basically, it's amazing. It's huge. It's like giant, right? And they grow as far as the eye can see, different, all of our hero ingredients. And this is our Riman village where our resorts are. People, when they go out there, they're just blown away. And people just fall in love immediately with it. Okay. And we'll talk more about that, obviously, in training, because there's a way for people right now in Europe to be able to qualify to go to Riman Village. So when I saw this village, I was absolutely like, when I saw this, I was like, wow, these guys really are doing something right. You know what I mean? Because most companies in our industry, they've never done, not most, I would say that all of them have never done anything like this, where they build a resort that's designed for the distributors, for the planners to be able to go and experience just next level environment, right? So this right here, this is our Incel Derm. Now look at the top. You'll see that this is basically German. It's called German Dermatest certified. It's the most stringent test that you can have on a product that talks about its efficacy and the quality of it. Basically, ICD is our skincare. We've got just amazing products that people absolutely fall in love with. And then the next thing I want to show you is basically this is my before and after. Now remember, when you're looking at this photo of me on the left, that was me selling skincare. Okay. So after just, the first day, my skin started looking better. Like it was like literally the first day of the product, I went to football practice. And it was like less than 5 hours later, 6 hours later, and one of my football coaches like, bro, your skin looks great. And I was like, what? Like it kind of frightened me because I've never heard anybody say that. I thought the guy was trying to pick up on me, but I was kind of, what is going on? And then this is actually my daughter. She had kind of like I don't know what that condition is, like a rosacea or acne break. I don't know. I'm not like a skincare genius, but what I do know is that her skin didn't look perfect. Started using the products and all that cleared up. Now it's got flawless skin. So I'll show you guys some more before and afters too as well. These are some of the top people that I work with and different customers of ours, but you can just clearly see the before and afters are absolutely next level. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. I could talk hours and show you hours and hours and hours of different before and afters. Our Boda Lab is our hair care line and body line. People absolutely fall in love with this as well. Let me give you just some before and afters of what the product can do. I know in United States, we can't give any income, or not income claims, but product claims talking about like what it does for people's hair. But I think when you look at these before and afters, you kind of see some of the results that people are getting from it, and you can kind of draw your own conclusion, right? Now, Lifening is nutritional line that's going to be coming out. We've got a couple products in the US, a couple and products going to be coming out all throughout the world on this one. And people just love all the Riman products because of the time and effort, energy they put in to making them next level, right? That's what's so special is the products literally are next level. Like when you start using our products, you're like, wow, this is amazing, right? So let me just real quickly go through how we make money and then see if it's something that you want to take advantage of, okay? So I'll be real brief here. I don't want to take up too much time, but all of you know, most of the time, this is the traditional supply chain. A company will manufacture a product, right? And they'll supply a product and they'll sell it to distributors. They'll mark it up and sell it to distributors. Distributors will mark it up, sell it to wholesalers. Wholesalers will mark it up to sell it to retailers. And then retailers mark it up and sell it to customers. So all those markups, right? All those markups, as a result of that, the customer pays a higher premium. So all those markups get passed along to a customer. So what Riman decided to do, which is very unique, is we're going to put together a product. Then we're going to partner up with people like me and you, right? Just normal people, and basically give us a chance to be able to get an equity ownership position in a company, right? So we can build a residual income based on creating profits, right? So basically, and I'll just give you the statistics in America, and I apologize. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I just don't know the statistics in other countries, but it's probably right around the same thing in most countries. In America, the average small business loan is $450,000, according to the Small Business Administration. Okay, which we have like an administration that is all about small businesses. The average loan's 450. Okay, 450,000. Okay, and basically 65% of those businesses fell within 5 years. Now, out of the 45% that are profitable, the average profitability of a business is 5 to 7%. 5 to 7% profitability. So the majority of business owners, they know there's great risks involved. And so that's why most people don't become entrepreneurs, right? Because they don't have the resources. It's not because they don't know that the owner of the company they work at makes more money than them. When I got started in this profession, I was working at a go-kart track. Okay, like a little, those little go-karts. And if somebody would have stopped me and said, "Hey, Tim, do you know the go-kart track owner makes more than you?" I wouldn't have been like, "What?" I knew it, right? But what stopped me from opening up my own go-kart track was what? I didn't even have any money, right? So there's a 0% chance I'd be able to open up my own business like that, right? So the company basically puts a product together, partners up with us. We get a chance to be able to promote the product instead of spending millions on advertising. It's like instead of using like television, right, or telemarketing, we use something called tell a friend, right? Just tell a friend about what's going on. So I market the products to anybody I know with skin. What I discovered about skincare is that everybody's got skin, right? So majority people, not everybody, but the majority of people want their skin to look better, right? So I bring the products directly to consumers. I demonstrate the products to them. I put the products on their skin and let them feel the difference. And then I get them as a customer, right? That's basically direct to people, right? The other way is the retail shops. So I'll talk to like, we've got a ton of nail salon owners in the United States. Huge, huge, huge amount of nail salon owners. I saw Denny too on here. He's part of that team, right? That do such a great job with that. And then I've got, med spa owners like crazy. There's There's a magazine called Top Doctor. The guy that owns that magazine, John, he actually is a distributor with us. So he puts me in front of the doctors like never before that are basically that own med spas, right? So med spa owners, I talk to them all the time. And then the online channel, right? So online is like the social media. One of the top leaders that I'm working with right now in the UK that just got started, Kelly, she's like a social media guru, right? She knows how to make these videos, drive traffic, introduce people to the industry, introduce people to the products. And it's amazing when you work with these online influencers because most people not exactly sure how it works. So we have a training system to teach people how to build online. Now, when you get started with Riman, listen to this. This is powerful. You get a link, okay? Basically, it's your personal link. Okay. And when you have your link, this is what happens. Okay. Is you share your link with customers. And then what happens is the customers click your link and they buy the products from you. Those customers get tagged to you for life. So anytime they reorder, you're going to get paid. Okay. So let me share with you how this works. When a customer buys from you or I, they're going to get a reward points, basically points back for discounts on their next purchases. Okay. So every product's got different kind of reward points, but it's right around 5% reward points or sometimes a little bit more. What happens is 30 days from the time they buy that product, they can redeem those reward points, right? Now, a VIP customer is somebody that spent a certain amount of money. And then we have VVIP customers, which is very, very important customers. They can get up to 10% savings whenever they purchase products. So when you couple the 10% plus 5%, you're looking at 15%. So customers want to continue to keep reordering from you. Me, my customers know, right? I'm their personal concierge. Like I'm going to take care of them. If they need their dog walked, call me, right? If you need a ride to the airport, call me, right? If you need somebody to come over and mow your grass, call me, right? My customers know my car gets flat. I'm not calling AAA, which is like in America, the people that go and fix your car. They're going to call me because I'm going to come get them, right? So I just take care of my customers and service them. They all love me. So they keep rewarding. Now, let me give you an example. This is a hypothetical example. Your success is going to be determined on what you do. Obviously, how many people do you talk to, right? If you get started in Remon and you're like, I'm not going to talk to nobody, you're not going to get rewards, right? You're not going to win big. But let me just show you an example of what can happen. I'm going to show you if you enroll 10 customers a month every month, 5 customers a month every month, and obviously if you enrolled 0 customers every month, what would happen to you, right? So if I'm enrolling 10 new customers a month for 12 straight months, okay? And let's say their average order is about 200 BP, which is basically worldwide. Like you guys have different currency than we do. You guys got pounds in UK, euros in the rest of Europe, you in most of Europe, and then US has got dollars, blah, blah, blah. You guys know how that works. So it's a universal income. So if I get a customer in UK, the BP is going to be basically our worldwide, money on what we get paid on. So if I get 200 BP a month, the customers on average about 200 BP a month, uh, that would be, and that would make me obviously at 50%. And when I get 50% of that number, I'm making, this is US 12,000 a month and obviously US dollars. You guys know, I think that would translate into the different in your currency, but you guys kind of get the gist of it. Now, if I got 5 customers a month, so 10 customers a month for 12 months would be 120 customers. If they're averaging 200 BP a month, 50%, that's 12,000. If I got 5 new customers a month, every single month for 12 months, that would be basically 60 customers, I believe, at 50%, boom, right? That would be 6,000, right? Now, if I got 0 customers a month, I'd make $0. So if you're just thinking, hey, I'm going to get started in Remon and let the money roll in, we have to talk to people, whether it be through social media, whether it be talk to people, but we have a training system to share with you exactly step by step how you can do that. Okay. Now, how do you go from 10 to 50? When you first get started, you're a planner, right? And then you're not going to be a planner very long. Okay. It's basically when you first get started, you won't need to learn how to do stuff, right? It's kind of like a little baby. When a baby's born, they know how to go to the restroom, right? And they know how to eat. And after that, they struggle. Oh, they know how to cry too. Sometimes late at night, right? But once you get now as a planner, you're going to get basically 10% anytime you get a customer. Now, once you get to 3,000 in sales points, now you become a manager. Now you're locked in at 20%. Okay, and once you can hit certain benchmarks in a calendar month, they can unlock an extra 10%. Okay, so as a manager, you're making 20 to 30. We'll go over this in training how it works. So you get 3,000 sales points, you automatically get promoted. Now that's anything you buy or sell. Follow me on this. Anything that you buy or sell, and anybody that that sponsors somebody on your level 1. So if you decide that you want to share this with some of your friends to let them participate in a better Quality of lifestyle, they get started on your level one. So you can count their volume and your volume to become a manager. Now, how do you get to senior manager? Right? Senior manager, now you're at 30 to 40%. And once again, once you hit senior manager, you're never going to go back down to manager or planner pay. You're locked in. So a lot of influencers like that because most companies in our profession, you start back and it's going to be a sliding scale based on what you do that month. Ours are locked in percentages. Now, as a senior manager, once you get 6,000 SP within a 3-month period, you become a senior manager. And that's basically anything you buy or sell, and anybody that you introduce to Riman buys or sells. It's just a rolling 3 months. It doesn't have to be your first 3 months or whatever. But most people that follow our training system, they'll do it right away. Right now, team leader, basically now you're at 40 to 50%, and we'll share with you in our training. We have a special training coming up this Sunday in Europe, in UK at the HQ office, where we'll break this down more. But this is basically, let me just show you how this works. Okay. When you look at open group volume and all that, what does all these numbers mean, Tim? You're confusing me. Look where it says unilevel right down here. Okay. We also have a unilevel income that you can generate, which is basically anybody you personally enroll as you build a team, you can earn. On the left is the 5%, 5%, and then you got 5%, 3%, 3%, 5%. These numbers on the left, that's the unilevel. On the other percentage on the right, these percentages are what we call the differential. So this is the maximum that you could generate, obviously, when you add them all up. But there's a substantial amount of income that you can generate. Once you do an amazing job, you become a director. And basically now you're going to start getting an override past your 6th level. Basically, we call that an infinity bonus. So we have so many exciting things that are happening here. I'm not going to get into the details. Just know that our compensation plan is very, very, very lucrative. Okay. We have a fast start bonus going on in the US and basically the countries that this is in. If you have a May start date, and basically, if you become a manager, senior manager within 7 days. Now in UK, it's 14 days. Okay. So people that are in UK, you actually get more time to do it just because of the different rules in your country about our industry. And our retreat is Bahamas. In Europe, your retreat is Monaco. So you guys are all qualifying this year to go to Monaco and also Dubai, right? So there's different basically vacations. I don't call them trips because typically a trip is when you pay for it, right? And when you for me, I look at a trip and I basically, when I get home and I look at my credit card statement, I start tripping. You know what I mean? But vacation is like completely, it's amazing, right? So we'll talk more about that in training. But basically, if you become a manager within 7 days, you earn a $250 bonus, plus you get 60 travel points. If you become a manager in 30 days, you get a $100 cash bonus and 40 travel points. Now, if you become a senior manager in 7 days, but like I said, it's 14 days in UK, you get $500 bonus and 150 travel points, and 30 days, 250, 100. So you guys, it's really exciting. I'm not going to get too much into the fast start, but the way I look at it, like when you own a business, right? Let's just say that you start a business. Uh, let's say you own a liquor store. What's one of the smartest things you could get? Liquor, right? If you own a gas station, what would be something that would be really smart to have? Yeah, you guessed it, gas, right? Now, if you own a skincare company, you think it'd be a smart move to get some products. Absolutely, right? Because we teach people use, talk, demo. We teach people change your face, before and afters, change your finances. We keep it real simple. So you got to get some product, number one, for you to use, which is a no-brainer. And you're actually going to get paid back whenever you do that. And then also, guess what? You're also going to get a chance whenever you get started with Riman, right? To be able to introduce these products to other people and build a residual income. So you want to get products, definitely. Now this month we have something called free enrollment. So anybody that gets a starter set, they get free enrollment. But majority of people in Europe that I work with, anyways, they'll get started as a planner, and then instead of getting the products as a distributor, right? They'll just talk to their spouse or their one of their kids and have them buy the products, right? Sometimes help obviously buy the products with them to get as a customer so you can get your products faster. It's just a rule that there's a 7-day period in Europe, but you want your products fast. So it's better to do that. So these are the different kits that we have. Now, basically the 300 point kit, the 300 BP kit or SP kit, then the 1,000, and then obviously the 1,500. So the difference in these sets are basically the products that you get, right? These are the stars of the show. These are the best of the best. And these product sets are available in your first 30 days. Now, you can't buy these until 7 days after you get started as a planner. So if you got started like, 20 days ago and you need to pick up another one, do it, right? I mean, for me, I can't have enough of this stuff. Like I literally can't have enough of this stuff. I just nonstop demonstrate the products, send the products to people. I just use these products to build my business because the products in Riman are, guess what? The superstar, right? So these are the starter sets that we have available that you can see. Some of them come with three of these, three of these, two of these, different amounts in Europe, right? Or in UK. And that's in pounds. And you guys know Europe is in euros, but it's all kind of like the same type of situation. Now, let me give an example just on the hypothetical example. Now, obviously, if you don't share this business with anybody, there's a pretty good chance you're not going to build a team, right? I don't want to say pretty good chance. There's 0% chance people are going to come knocking on your door. So you actually have to talk to people, whether that be through social media, through people that you know, whatever. But we all talk to people. Okay. I talk to people, you talk to people, we all talk to people anyways. So might as well talk about something that's going to make us money, which is Remon, right? So, but I'm going to give you a hypothetical example. Now, the success that you have is going to be dependent on your own effort. Okay. It's going to be your own. Now, you're going to get some support like never before. You're going to have a training system like none other. You got this Sunday coming up on the 24th at the Hammersmith Arc building headquarters. There's an event going on where my business partner, Chris Kim, who is unbelievable at this business, he's coming in from the US, right? To do a training and an overview for everybody there. So let's talk about this. Let's say that you introduce the business to 3 people, but you're probably going to need to find 10 good ones before you find 10 people before you find 3 good ones, just to be upfront with you. Not everybody's going to say and do what they say they're going to do. But if you introduce the business to 10 quality people, and let's say 3 of them decided to duplicate your efforts and then it continued to replicate. So let's say like year 1, I'm going to make it real simple. I'm not talking about overnight, da 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 da. Like this takes work, it takes effort, like it takes learning, right? But let's just say that you introduce the business to 10 people and you find 3 good ones over the course of a year, okay? Which is very That's very doable. And then on the second level, it duplicates a year later, right? And you find 9. And then the third year, it duplicates to 27. Fourth year, so forth and so on. And if you're teaching your team how to get a thousand in BP to sell 1,000 BP a month, this would be your income, right? For that example, right? Now, it's a hypothetical example, right? We don't live in a perfect world, right? If we did, I'd look like Brad Pitt. You know what I mean? My wife would be jacked too. But anyways, now if I just went out there and now she would want me to look like Jason Momoa. But anyways, I'm not going to get into that. Now, if I introduce the business and I just taught my team how to get 100 BP a month, okay, instead of 1,000, I would be at 3,300. So it's all about teaching, training how to have success. And if I taught everybody how to get 2,000 BP a month, that would be the number. So I'm just plugging in percentages and numbers. But once again, it's based on your performance. Okay, none of these numbers are like, hey, you know what, I'm going to get that money. You have the opportunity to be able to get that money, but it's based upon what you do. Okay, so obviously that's what I saw that got me so fired up. Oh, this is the Bahamas in America and US, Canada, and basically North America, including Latin American countries. We qualify for Bahamas. You guys are qualifying for Monte Carlo. Okay, which obviously I'd rather go to Monte Carlo. But anyways, I don't live in Europe. But anyways, so Asia is qualifying for Thailand. So there's every different market is qualifying for a different retreat that's more closer to their market. So people don't have to fly, a bazillion, 14 hours to get to a retreat. So basically, how to qualify for these? We're going to go over in training. Dubai is also something that as a global director, when you become director, Dubai, it's going to be so much fun. So just know that we have these incentive trips that are just absolutely amazing. We'll share with you in the training how to qualify for these. We have something called matching bonus. This ensures basically why I like to show this to new people is because you're going to see that you get a lot of support here. Because when you become a team leader and higher, if you can help somebody else become a team leader, you're going to qualify on these additional overrides, right? So you're at 40% as a team leader, you're going to get 40% on all your first generation team leaders, 20% on second generation, 10% on basically their matching bonus on how much that they earn. So basically, I'm kind of sharing with you guys the basics of this. We'll get more into details, but what this means, you're going to get a lot of support. Okay, that's literally what that means, is because everybody wants to build leadership. Okay, now let me just talk about this before we wrap up today. This is a big event going on. Okay, this is huge. Basically, what's happening right now, and I got people from all over Europe flying in for this. Right, I got people flying in from Belgium, from Italy. I've got people flying in from Spain even for this event. Chris Kim is he's a famous K-pop celebrity. Let me just tell you his background. Very famous K-pop celebrity. He's got 9 number 1 songs in Korea, 5 number 1 albums in Korea. So he's a huge K-pop celebrity. In fact, BTS, which is like a real famous K-pop group, which whether you follow K-pop or not, they're the biggest, okay, K-pop group of all time. Now, the guy that owns that company, the CEO, right, who's made over $1 billion on that BTS brand, he was Chris's songwriter when Chris got started in his connections in Korea are unmatched. But anyways, he's going to be flying out to Europe. Actually, today he's leaving to go out there, and he's going to be hitting different markets. But on Sunday, this is huge. The 24th at 5 to 8, whatever you've got going on. I know it's short notice. I know some of you are like, I don't know if I want to be there. I'm telling you right now, when you go to that Arc building in Hammersmith, right? And basically, when you walk in there, the 4th floor of the Arc building, you guys all know 201, I don't even want to say it because I'm going to say it wrong, but Talgarth Road, Hammersmith, London, right? And there's, W68BJ, right? You guys know where it's at. Basically, when you walk in that building and you see what Riman's doing, you're going to be like, wow. But when you hear Chris, and he speaks perfect English, he's like unbelievable of what he's been able to accomplish in this profession. Best recruiter that I've ever met, like teaching people how to build teams. So this event's free. Okay. This event's free. And I'm letting you know right now, whatever you've got going on, find a way to get there. Right. I got people flying in from all over Europe to be there to meet with Chris. Here's the big thing. Get guests there. Anybody you know with skin, just pick them up in your car, tell them whatever you got going on. Just trust me. I can't let you miss this. You got to come with me. You're going to be so fired up and excited. I'm not taking no for an answer, right? You got to meet. You got to come with me Sunday. Bring them on Sunday. Chris is going to be doing an overview, and the leaders in London are going to be doing an overview first, talking about the Riman opportunity, and then getting into the training. So you can't miss this event. Trust me on that. I know some of you've got stuff going on. You're like, oh my God, I've got graduations, or I got birthdays, or I got weddings, or I got this, that, and the other thing. Trust me when I tell you, you got to be there. Okay. You got to be there no matter what. No matter what. Like, this is going to be so amazing. I was just out there basically at the end of March, and I was like, whoa, this is our office? What? This is unbelievable, right? I couldn't believe what I experienced. The people there, it's a great culture, great family environment. So no matter what, obviously get out there for that. I know some of you are like, I can't make it. I can't make it. You got to rearrange your schedule. You got to find a way to do it. And the reason why I say that with such conviction is because once you experience this live, not in a Zoom like this, but when you actually meet somebody that's making the type of income that Chris Kim's making, you're talking about the number 1 money earner outside of Korea. He's the number 1 money earner in the company. Okay. So outside of Korea, right? As a distributor, right? It's unbelievable. He's going to share with you, and he's got a heart, passion, and just a love for helping people. You're going to love this guy. And basically 5 to 8 on Sunday, May 24th, whatever you've got going on, get there, right? And I would encourage you to get there at 4:30 so you get a good seat. Okay. Take notes, learn from Chris Kim. I'm telling you right now, he's one of the best that I've ever worked with. Him and I were partners. We built a $1 billion skincare company together. We owned a business together, came over to Riman, same thing. We kept it together, and we're building this thing together, and we compete. Him and I compete, right? Of who can work the hardest, right? It's like we are nonstop trying to outserve each other, right? We're just trying to, because service to many leads to greatness, right? So just trust me when I tell you, believe me when I tell you, okay? The data shows if you go to this event, your business is going to explode. So with that being said, I really appreciate everybody's time. May 24th, Sunday, get out there, find a way or make a way. If you're far away in Europe and you got flights, the flights aren't too terrible. And London Heathrow is like less than 30 minutes away. You can, I don't know exactly how. I remember when I was there, I landed in Heathrow and drove out there, but I don't remember exactly how long it was. But it's not that far. Okay, so if you're flying in, it's going to be the best decision you've ever made, right? To be able to see the HQ, it's going to be so much fun. It's going to be a great event. But the key is this, right? Being in the right place, the right time doesn't guarantee you financial success. Okay, you got to do something about it, right? You got to take action at the end of the day. So action is the key. So today you've been given enough information to see if this is something that you want to take advantage of, right? And what you want to do is get back to the person that introduced you to this and have them walk you through the sign up process, right? They have a link, they'll show you how to do it. And it's super, super. I have the most fun in this business because I love helping people. I love teaching people, training people, sharing with people what my mentors taught me. And we got a training system in Riman second to none. Okay. And you're going to get so much support. We have so much fun helping one another out and, being people's cheerleaders and it's just so much fun. And we're going to help you out. We're going to make sure that if you're willing to put in the time, effort, and energy, that you get the results that you're looking for, because we're going to pour into you like you pour into Riman, right? And we're going to work this thing together. We have a great culture. When you see the way that we operate too, like UK, like everybody's family. It's not like, oh, my team, my team. It's not like my precious. You know what I mean? You guys know Lord of the Rings, but it's like everybody works together as a big family, supporting one another, caring about one another, loving on one another. And we have so much fun with this business. So what I want to encourage you to do today is to take action, get back to your buddy that invited you on, get your link, get their link so you can get your link, and we'll walk you through the sign up process. And we'll have so much fun along the way. I'm here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Everybody knows I'm here working around the clock all the time, supporting, creating training materials, sharing with people what I know that my mentor taught me. And we just are building this thing together. We're going to lock arms. We're going to do this together. So with that being said, get back to your buddy that invited you on. Hope you had fun. Hope you had a great time. Apologize for my accent, right? I know you guys like, who's up with this guy's accent? He sounds silly, but American Californians, man, we sound different. But with that being said, you guys, appreciate you, love you guys. Can't wait for Chris to meet all of you and all your friends and family as we build up on Sunday for an explosive event. Take care. God bless. We'll see you guys all at the top.